Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and today we're doing the signs of earth signs. I was going to start out with a different sign, but I got too many earth cards to not do earth signs. Now I'm using my old and trusted true friend that I've had since 2015 before I moved to Brisbane, which predicted that I was going to be, do I go left or right? Do I go to Brisbane or do I stay in Newcastle? And what I got told in the vision is it was going to be flooding in Brisbane as well as in Newcastle, because at the time when I moved to Newcastle back in 2000 I think it was 2005, I want to say, maybe 2005, and then I stayed till 2010. There was a flood in Newcastle in 2008, and then I moved up to Brisbane in 2011 and there was another flood. So that impression was actually just describing what was going down in my natural environment. So the deck I've used was predicting that there was going to be a flood either way. And the one I'm using today is the Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, illustrations by Howard David Johnson. It's a really old, well-loved deck. Now, we've just come out of an eclipse, I think it was in Pisces. Have a look. I wrote it down. Pluto was in Capricorn, and then we had a Pisces lunar eclipse on, that's heavy energy, it was very heavy that week, on the 17th of September. There was a lunar eclipse. We're going into another lunar eclipse, because I've been watching YouTube channels with other people that talk about astrology that I don't have to do. There's a lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 2nd of October. So there's big major events coming up, and the world and the earth, and it's shifting. So we've got two lunar eclipses we've had in the space of 2 or 3 weeks. Then we had a solar eclipse in, I think it was Pisces, no, not Pisces, Aquarius. That was before, a solar eclipse, 2 weeks before the lunar eclipse in Pisces. And then we've also got on the 21st to the 22nd is the summer equinox. So that's a big shift of energy. Most things actually happen on equinoxes. You can bet your bottom dollar you'll be more psychic. I'm burning sage to cleanse the air. You'll be more psychic when you are experiencing a couple of eclipses in a row, and also this is representing fire. It's cleansing my candle, but it's also cleansing my crystals with sage for depression and anxiety. So if anyone's been suffering with that, full moon, full solar eclipse, there's a lot of things going on. The first thing I got was the Hermit. So if I'm reading for a Virgo in particular, the Hermit card comes up. It says, find or be a mentor, take a break from society, a commitment to your spiritual growth. You may be hiding your light. See, I find, I'm an Aquarian, and I see that as the star quality. Here's the Hermit needing the light of an Aquarian in order to see their way through out of the darkness, out of their depression. He's got the Star of David on his left, and he's got the light someone maybe called David, is trying to give light to a Virgo who's in the dark. This person called David could be giving light to the person in the dark, because the Hermit is someone who shuts himself away and writes scriptures and just stays inside because they can't leave the house because they're meditating. Hermit energy, we're just coming out of Virgo season, so that makes a lot of sense. We're coming out of where Virgo season is about cleansing, doing juicing, doing cleanses, doing rituals where we get rid of all our whatever we've got, depression, anxiety, by doing natural therapies. I had an auntie that was very big on juicing, and I recently got really sick with COVID and glandular fever. You can still hear it in my voice. My throat chakra is not quite right where it should be. And what she used to tell me when I was a little girl was she used to drink V8 juice. So I lived on this V8 juice for about a week and a half. All of a sudden, I got extremely well. My sores cleared up, my voice got better, and I got better. And I've got this new lease on life by drinking this V8 juice, which has got celery, beetroot, and carrot, and tomato juice. And my auntie Linda used to swear by it. I forgot to get it today, but I'm going to go back and get it tomorrow, because I really found by juicing, like orange juice, which I've been drinking heaps of, and V8 juice and chamomile tea, I was able to manage to flush it out of my system. So anyone who's got COVID symptoms or glandular fever, I recommend that. I've been to natural therapies too. So we've been in Virgo season, which is all about getting your health on track, and that's what I've been doing. You've got crossing your path a Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn who's around you. who is generous, stylish, gracious, practical. Could be a family member. Be practical with respect to how you proceed, the ability to make anything more beautiful, meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. Now, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, they could be a Taurus. They love fine fabrics, fine jewellery, soft velvet. They like to surround themselves with their abundance. They like to see their wealth, because we've got here the little rabbit. So the rabbit represents fertility and growth. And whatever they touch, they've got the Midas touch turns to gold. They just have this natural ability to create more and more abundance, is what it's saying. So there's that person crossing your path. In the past, you may have had to deal with the Princess of Spring. Could be a family member who's no longer with you, who's a Leo, Sagittarian, or Aries. They're optimistic, they're enthusiastic, they're creative, they're energetic. They may have liked to knit, draw, create, sew. It's time to go after your dreams, do something that expands your horizons and let your creativity take flight. They may have liked to sing and dance and just create. They're the life of the party, is what I'm getting here. Red represents passion. They've got a passion for what they do. They go fully into it. I've got a grandmother that passed away in January, and she used to knit, she used to sew, she could cook. She was really good at cooking, and she was also good at creating. Her garden just used to grow. She had a green thumb, and my mother's inherited her green thumb. She could grow anything, and we used to go at the back and hose the stocks in the afternoon. She's like a herbalist. She knew exactly what to do. My Auntie Linda had problems with acne, and she made up this paste. I don't know how she got the knowledge, where she went. Maybe she went to the library, because we didn't have internet back then. But she made up this jar. It was called, it had like sulphur in it, and she killed off my Auntie Linda's 5-grade cystic acne. Now, I'm a beauty therapist. 5 grade is like beyond help. You have to go see a dermatologist. But, we were poor, so my nana knew herbal remedies, and she fixed my Auntie Linda's grade 5 cystic acne, which is a dermatology level. It's beyond a beauty therapy level. It's a dermatology level. And back then, no one could afford a dermatologist. It would have been off the charts. So she used all these natural therapies, and she could fix anything with natural ideas. She knew every flower that I would ever ask her about it. She knew the flowers. She knew what they did. And because of that, I wanted to get into herbal medicine. So I didn't become a pharmacist, but I became a beauty therapist, because I love flowers, because she knew every flower. And I use herbal teas, like chamomile tea, herbal extracts to get myself well, because I find the natural therapies is the best way to go. As far as healing, it's usually if you can heal the mind, you can heal the body. I believe the mind controls the body. But natural herbal therapies like juices and teas are really good if you've got a cold and flu situation. So that's my grandmother. And then we've got, in the recent past, that you may have gone on a trip. You may have had a flight out overseas on an airline. Some of you might be currently holidaying in a different country right now, is what it's saying here. Or you would like to, or you did in the past. It's saying you went on a plane trip. You may have gone overseas a couple of times, or gone on a overseas holiday, or taken a plane up to a place that was not, that you had to get a plane to go to a destination. It also talks about love and stress that comes from having many things happening at once. Sudden and successful multitasking events or changes. So it's someone that's falling in love in the recent past. I've got my citron, which is a beautiful specimen, that I put on this particular card, which is Sagittarian energy. And citron works with Jupiter and attracts money, luck, and abundance. Now, because we're in reverse, it's talking that it's the lack of money right now. So some of the Sagittarians right now may be going through a lack of money. It talks about success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight, trying to steer and navigate the two forces of negativity and positivity. I've got Sagittarius in my chart, so I can relate. Someone might be going through a negative cycle because it's upside down, because they don't think anything's happening that's positive. Well, that's about to change, because we've got a couple of lunar eclipses, and we've got the summer equinox. So it's talking about you going out of this depression, you're about to leave this depression and go into something more positive. So I've got the gum nut on the earth sign, because that represents earth. Some of you may need to ground yourself a bit more. Eat some root vegetables like potato, carrot, you work with a crystal that will ground you, like smoky quartz, which will help ground anyone that's got air, a lot of air in their chart, or a lot of water in their chart. People that have got air tend to overthink. We've got Aquarius and we've got Gemini and we've got Libra, all overthinkers, which can cause stress in the body, and the stress can then make you unwell. So you're not actually wanting to be in the spotlight because you're not well enough to be in the spotlight. I've been on a hiatus for about 4 weeks because I had to get my health up to speed before I could go back in and do these readings. And really, these readings can be quite challenging for me because I read energy, but I also have daytime downloads from about 11 till 2, I want to say. I get future events on my left shoulder, on my peripheral is my future events. On my right shoulder is stuff that's already gone past. So I put my sunglasses on and I don't pay attention to the negative things I see that are coming up for me on my left. I don't want to see these negative things. The more you pay attention to a disease, like say you've got cancer or you've had an operation, and they're all talking about it in negative terms, the more you give attention to negativity, like we're speaking about, I've been sick, I've had this, this and this, the longer it takes to heal. So I'm not going to talk about my glandular fever again, or my COVID, because the more I speak it, the more I will attract it. It's called the law of attraction. When you go to a doctor, they give you all this negative stuff, and you go home and ruminate on it, and think, oh God, woe is me. I'm going to pass away from this earth because I had a bad operation, or I hurt my leg, or something happened. And you ruminate on the negatives that the doctor has said, not the positives. I have nightmares, panic attacks, and through the daytime, but through the nighttime it's worse because I astral travel. I go forward and backwards in time. So I lit this candle today because we've got Halloween coming up, and that's all about fear. You know, Halloween's all got scary creatures, like we've got witches, we've got goblins. People dress up as witches and goblins. Some of them may have been a goblin, like Drew Barrymore was in E.T. and she dressed up as a little. It was E.T. She tried to get away as being E.T. with a sheet over her head because they had to hide E.T. extraterrestrial activity. She was brilliant. She was only 7 when she acted in that movie, and I was a huge fan. So what I've done is I've anointed the candle in lavender oil. I've got a book called The Good Witch's Guide. It talks about anointing candles, candle magic, and how to cleanse houses of spirits, and whatever you've got in your house can cause lots of problems if it's come from a house of fighting or bad energy, bad juju. You could attract that energy to your home. So I'm going to cleanse my mum's house. She's got some stuff from my grandmother that goes way back, and there was a lot of fights in that house, and I think she fights a lot with people at the moment. I think she's picking up on the energy. So I'm going to have to do a cleansing spell in her house to get rid of all that negativity, all that fighting, all that hostility. So my fear is my sleep, where I'm astral traveling to a future event. I saw COVID before it happened. I saw my son as a 2-year-old on top of a building, September 11th. That's now 23 years ago that happened. I was 8 months pregnant with him, and I saw him on the top of a building under a pile of rubble with this huge angel's wing that was covering his back. He's recently got a tattoo of an angel's wing covering his back. So when he was a 2-year-old, I was pregnant 8 months, I saw him under this angel's wing. And then I called him my cherub, and when he came out, when he was 2, he looked exactly like that. I think he's a fallen one. I think he's come straight from one life, and gone straight into another life. He's come through as, he used to always have this thing for black African Americans. I think he's got an affinity with that because he was that in the previous life before he died in the Twin Towers. So I got up in the middle of the night, I was pregnant, switched the television on, I woke my partner up, fiance, and I woke my mother up, and we watched the Twin Towers happen, and I was like in shock, and I told them what I saw. So we're coming into Scorpion energy right now, which is the hidden. Something that's hidden will come to light. My Uncle Robert also came through that night, and in that vision he said to me, "Where's your mum?" I said, "She's in the other room." He'd already passed away when my son was born. I was 24 at the time, and Chris was born when I was 28. So he came through in a pink shirt. He had his hair slicked back. He looked at like, when he was happy, when he was well, he died of a heart attack. He came through and said, "Where's your mother?" I said, "She's in the other room." He said, "I've got something very important to tell her." So then he had to, I got the impression, I told my mum, and she said, "Something big's going to happen." I said, "Yeah, something big." And then he left an inheritance to her he was a very wealthy man and never had children, and he left some money to her. So my fears, my problem is I have nightmares. I set my alarm at 4:45 every morning to pull myself out of a vision, because it's not like a normal dream. It goes on for hours, and if it scares the crap out of me, which most of my dreams do, I get future visions like COVID, and I astral travel to future events. I've seen things like for Tom Cruise when he did the movie Mission Impossible. I saw that 3 years before it happened. Now, some people would think that I was spying on them, but I'm not. I just get impressions of watching footage of that person, watching a movie with that person. I'll get an impression. So what I need to stop my fear, because I'm doing this spell on how to take away fear, is take away my fear. I've engraved it on the candle. There's my dream catcher. I used to have one of these above my bed, which balances out hormones, brings in good juju, and I've got a moonstone, and we're coming into a full moon. So I'm putting that next to the candle, and I'm going to recite from this book, The Good Witch's Guide by Sean Robbins and Charity Beadle, on how to get rid of negative energy. And see, sometimes people put curses on us, light workers, because they are afraid of what they don't know. So I'm going to repeat this spell, because this is like return to sender. Into black wings I encase my soul to ferry me to the halls of the just. Barbs and lances I entreat, and dread eyes burn the dust and peat. An arm, a blade, a thrash of blood, a fire of pain and warding. Rain down upon my ebony shields, this ruby glints of forging. I make upon the cold stone place my weapon, my tower, my stair, and on my battlements screaming rage and hosts of things that bite and tear. You will not breach these deathly walls. Your curse breaks and burns bright. I invoke the law of defence of I and return tenfold your blight. So return to sender. Whoever sent me that, I think I was, someone's put a hex on me. I feel it's a curse. Whoever sent me that, I'm just sending it right back to you. Return to sender. I don't even need to know the address, because I've just returned it to you. Okay, so I'm going to go look up the candle. Here we go. Candle, Wellbeing for Wellbeing, on the Magic Within. That's the anointing, the candle, because it talks about what colour candle you have to use. Better health, fertility, banishing bad habits, back problems, unhappy emotions, calming back problems, bitterness, banishing bad habits, headaches, migraines, preventing colds, flus, remove fear and phobias. This is the spell I have to say. With this crystal, remove my fear. With this candle, settle here. See this photo and make it be. Well, I got the symbol of the wheel, which is to do with candle magic, but it's also to catch the bad dreams. See this photo, which is the wheel, which is the spell catcher, an agreeable thing for me to see. And you repeat this 9 times. With this crystal, remove my fear. With this candle, settle here. See this photo and make it be an agreeable thing for me to see. With this crystal, remove my fear. With this candle, settle here. See this photo and make it be an agreeable thing for me to see. With this crystal, remove my fear. With this candle, settle here. See this photo and make it be an agreeable thing for me to see. And you do this for 7 nights, apparently. With this crystal, remove my fear. With this candle, settle here. See this photo and make it be an agreeable thing for me to see. With this crystal, remove my fear. With this candle, settle here. See this photo and make it be an agreeable thing for me to see. With this crystal, remove my fear. With this candle, settle here. See this photo and make it be an agreeable thing for me to see. With this crystal, remove my fear. With this candle, settle here. See this photo and make it be an agreeable thing for me to see. With this crystal, remove my fear. With this candle, settle here. See this photo and make it be an agreeable thing for me to see. So hopefully I won't have any bad dreams tonight. I'm hoping, because I'm sick and tired of having these huge dreams where I can't wake up from, and I have to set my alarm to pull myself out so I won't see any more, because it's just too full on and I don't want to see it anymore. That's it. Now what I've got here is, in the future, it's saying in 10 months' time, there'll be an inheritance of some sort from someone that's either passed or not long, or there's a settling of money, but in 10 years' time it'll take to come to fruition, whatever this is that you're trying to create. Maybe you've inherited these talents, these God-given talents through your ancestors. I believe that you can inherit ailments like asthma, hay fever, and things like that. Some people have asthma and hay fever, and it passes along through the DNA. You can inherit DNA problems like varicose veins or things like that. You can inherit spirituality. It runs in families. So being a psychic medium that I am, I see dead people that have passed over or about to pass over. And I also see future events when I'm asleep and when I'm awake. I do what they call daydreaming. Malign dreaming for ADHD kids is a very normal thing. I used to get in trouble for it at school. I used to look out the window and I was daydreaming. I still do it. It went away and then all of a sudden it came back. Since I died and come back a couple of times, and then I saw COVID and I saw Black Lives Matters and I saw all of it in this vision where I almost left the building. I was going to die. And my mother-in-law came to me and said, no, you have to be here for Christopher because he's going to need your DNA. I'm guessing a blood transfusion in the future will be for him. He's going to contract cancer and he needs my blood because it's a match, because we're related. I'm guessing that's what that... And it's also saying take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones. So as in making a will, making wise investments or planning for retirement and honouring family traditions. Then I've got in 1 month's time a lump sum of money. Some of you may win the lotto, but it's saying a windfall of money, advice or assistance from others, a very successful project, a happy change in your career. It can talk about a brand new job, a brand new career in 1 month's time, which will earn you extra income, and it may be in 1 year's time. So from 1 year today, it's not now, in 1 year's time next year, you will be in a different career. And then we've got here what's around you. You may want to go and consult with someone who's a high priestess. That is someone like me, a psychic medium. You may be researching other people's YouTube channels to get some traction or to confirm what you're seeing is what they are seeing. Because if we're all sensing the same thing, then we can all tap into that we're all on the same track. I was watching Starseed Zayad, and he's predicting that there's going to be a huge war, which I've seen in the future, where there's nothing left. We're all dead. We have a World War III, 4, what do you want to call it? This was when I was dying, going to heaven, and I saw there was nothing left. All I heard was the hounds of hell barking. It was like in E.T., where there was all this mist. You know, when she comes out to go see E.T., and he's hiding I think it was in the, I don't know, the garage or in the greenhouse, the garden shed. He was hiding in it, and they threw the ball to him, and then he threw it back, and there was all this mist around it. That's what I saw. There was nothing but this howling of the dogs, which is the hounds of hell, all this mist, and the Air Force or Army or whatever they were patrolling the streets looking for signs of life, because we're all dead. And whoever was sent before all the destruction happened, that would be our, what would you call them? Our researchers, our people that are botanists and how to regrow, fertility experts, geneticists, and people like that were sent to Mars to repopulate our Earth so we could live there, because they had to try and save humanity. That's what I saw. So if you need to consult a wise guide, spiritual person, that's what you should do right now. It's also talking about doing deep meditation, like walking, because walking will help you get your impressions. It'll calm your 5 senses down if they're very strong like mine and you have no off switch. You'll smell, touch, see, hear all these sounds that will be healing for you. I enhance those sounds because I'm clairaudient. I hear things before they happen. I see things clairvoyant before they happen. I sense things with my gut before they happen, clairsentience. I knew my grandfather was going to be sick 4 weeks before he got sick and almost died twice now, because I had COVID and I had glandular fever and I was vomiting up phlegm because I was so distressed. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. I had insomnia. I knew I could sense something. But for hearing things before they happen, I've got this magical little crystal called labradorite. And see how it shines different colours. It's multifaceted. It goes blue one time, then it goes gold, and it's magical, and it invites intuition. It invites the hearing to be how would you say, magnified times 10. So I can hear things before they happen. So I use those through the day, but I've also got here the lapis lazuli, which is for, let me just get this right, adjust that. Lapis lazuli is an Egyptian stone that enhances intuition. That's what it does. Enhances intuition, and I've got it actually here in my book. Lapis crystals. Crystal Power 66. So I'm using a book to prop this up because I don't have an actual holder. There you go. Lapis. Labradorite. The earring I showed you is peace of mind, peace, happiness, tranquility, relaxation. Lapis lazuli is healing, joy, fidelity, and psychic ability, protection, and courage. And then I've got here tiger's eye. It attracts money, prosperity, courage, energy, luck, and divination. And it's also a symbol of the Leo energy. So it's saying there's not weakness. They say kindness is not. Don't mistake kindness for weakness. Just because someone's kind doesn't mean they can't defend themselves. So if you need to protect yourself from people who think you're the lamb, but you're actually the lion, and you're going to eat them up if they try and harm you or your family, yeah, you show them. You show them your strength. You are the lion. You're the king of the jungle. The grace and inner strength needed to overcome challenges, the power of kindness and forgiveness, and time to embrace how wonderful you are. So you may have needed to assert your authority recently to someone who thought they could push you around, and you've gone, actually, no, I don't want to deal with you anymore. I'm going to cut you off. That's it. You're done. And so if you're dealing with a Leo, if their behaviour is not up to standard, or they attack you, or they try and have a go at your character, or put you down in any shape or form, you're just going to cut them off. Point blank. Aquarians were good at that. I'm an Aquarian with Virgo placement. I'm also, in the Chinese astrology, I'm the walking tiger. So I'm like a lion. I will patrol my kids and my safety and my protection. My protection and my safety are my key things I need to have in my life. You may be researching on how to control what it is that you do. Being an Aquarian, we like to research. You may be a researcher. You may be looking online, getting ideas on how to control what you do. King of Winter, that's me. I'm King of Winter. Knowledgeable, experienced, fair-minded, unemotional. Get advice from someone professional and objective. Public speaking, or this is like I'm doing public speaking, but I'm performing in front of a camera. Unemotional relationships. Yeah, I can cut you off as soon as I can put you in your place without you even realising it. I do it logically, I do it ethically, and I do it quick. And I make sure you understand that you're not going to toy with me. I won't allow you to toy with my emotions or my heart or my feelings. And if you're trying to test to see if I'm actually the real McCoy, that I'm a psychic, then go ahead, because I don't want to play games. I'm not a game player. I tell you exactly what I see, and if I can't pick up your energy, I know you're fake. I've had 2 fake accounts try to engage with me recently, and I called them out on it, and they didn't like it much. I went, well, you fake account. That's why I can't pick up anything on you, because I'm not actually talking to the real person that says that who they are, who's a famous public figure. I've got them both out on their crap. And so, you know, I'm going to cut it off straight away. But if I do see something for that person, and they are really who they say they are, I can see things for them. But if they're fake, I can't see things for them. So that's just the rule of thumb. Do more research before proceeding. Education in the form of seminars, going back to school or apprenticeships, excellent craftsmanship, and long-term projects. Some of you want to do in the future, you want to go and study online. Now, to calm down stress and anxiety, which I suffer with because I've ADHD, undiagnosed, PTSD complex, I recommend praying, holding your amethyst crystal close to your person. So that's all I have for you today for Earth Signs, Sun, Moon and Rising.